Good afternoon, children. Welcome to the class. So, in the previous class, we have studied how coordination takes place in plants. It means various phytohormones, that is, plant growth promoters and plant growth inhibitors. They regulate the growth of the plant. Now, in this class, we will see the tropic and elastic movements in the plants. So how, though the plants cannot move from one place to another place, they are fixed to a particular place, they are sedentary in nature, how do they exhibit their movements? What are the different types of movements? That we shall see in this class. So plants naturally, they respond to the external stimulus and they make certain movements. Such movements are called tropism or tropic movement. So, depending upon the external stimulus, plants exhibit certain movements. That's called tropism or tropic movement. So, if the direction of the movement is not determined, that means plants do not exhibit certain particular direction in their movement. So, depending upon the stimulus, such movements are called elastic movements. So, we shall discuss about elastic movements later. Now, let us see what are all the different tropic movements exhibited by the plants. What are different parts of the plant? How do they respond to the external stimulus and they exhibit different movements. So, first type of movement which is called as phototropism. Phototropism means, photo means light. So, responding to the light. So, a plant is responding to light. So, when a seed germinates, naturally what happens? The root grows towards the soil and the stem grows towards the sunlight. So, that means we have already seen auxins are responsible for the phototropic movement of the plants. That means due to the presence of the hormones, plants are able to respond to the light. So, even if you grow the plant horizontally like this, so I am drawing a small picture. So, this is how, so this is a pot and this is the plant. So what happens? The tip of the plant always grows towards light. So the stem always grows towards the light. So that is called as phototropism. And the next one is geotropism. What is geotropism? Geotropism means plants responding towards the soil. That means positively gravitational force. That means roots, when the seed germinates, when the plant grows, roots always grow towards the soil. So that is called as geotropism. That means roots are negatively phototropic and positively geotropic. Just try to understand the terms. Phototropism means stem is always negatively geotropic and positively phototropic. Okay. Next one is hydrotropism. Hydrotropism means responding to water. So that means when there is availability of water, the roots of the plant grow in the direction where the water is available. Roots growing towards the water. That means plants need water for their growth, development and photosynthesis. So that is why roots grow towards the availability of water. So that is responding to water. That is called as hydrotropism. And the next one is thigmotropism. Thigmotropism is especially seen in creepers. So the stem of the creepers is very weak and they grow tall, but they cannot grow erect because of a weak stem. So stem is thin and weak. So what happens? So the creepers look for a support. So when they come in contact with a support, there are thread-like structures in the plants which are called as tendrils. So these tendrils in the leaves, they grow on the leaves and stems. When they come in contact with a certain object, immediately they entwine, they grow towards the support, they entwine the support and grow. That you might have seen in your daily life. Creepers, they are with the help of tendrils, they are entwining the support and growing erect. Okay, that means though they have weak stem, thin stem, they are growing depending upon the support. That means whenever there is support availability, the plants grow in that direction. That is called as thigmotropism. That means responding to touch. When they come in contact with the support, they will grow in that direction. Next, chemotropism. Chemotropism means the stigma of a flower secretes a certain substance, sugary, sweet substance, which is called as a nectar. So the pollen grains, they respond to that sugary substance, nectar, and attracted by it, and they stick on to stigma. And then the pollen grains germinate by means of pollen tube, and they enter into the ovule, which helps in the proper process of fertilization. So that means responding to chemical substances is called as chemotropism. And I have told you elastic movements. Elastic movements means they without definite direction. That means elastic movements are reversible, repeatable, and non-growth movements. That means they do not help in growth. So if you see touch me not plant, mimosa pudica. So when we touch the leaves, immediately the plant close the leaves. So why? Because so that means at the base of the leaves there is water accumulation is there, and which makes the leaves stand erect. But so that particular place is called pulvinus. So when any object, that means any animal, human being, come in contact with that particular plant, so the water moves away and the leaves lose support and they close. And again, when water comes back, the leaves will be erect. They stand straight. So that means this is reversible, repeatable, non-growth movements. So all these help in growth. That means the stem grows towards the light, root grows towards the soil, and root responds to water and helps in absorbing the water from the soil and transports the water to the leaves, etc. Thigmotropism helps the creepers to grow with the help of support. And chemotropism means attracted by chemicals, which helps in the process of fertilization. Stigma secreting certain chemicals which attract the pollen grains, and they stick on to the stigma, and they help in proper method of fertilization. So that is known as chemotropism. Response to chemicals is called chemotropism. But whereas nastic movements, their movement is not determined by the direction of the stimulus. So that means it is reversible, repeatable, non-growth movement. Non-growth movement, and so it does not help in the growth of the plant, and it does not depend upon light, temperature, water, etc. Such movements are called thigmonasty. By touch they are responding, but no, not particular direction, but it is repeatable and non-growth movements. So in this way, plants, though they are sedentary, they are fixed to a particular place, they show different types of movements which help them in their growth and development. Okay, so these are all the tropic movements and nastic movements exhibited by the plant. And these nastic movements, when this is a method exhibited by the plant to protect itself from the grazing animals. So that means when the leaves close, the plants cannot eat it. So that means though they do not help in growth, but they help the plant to protect itself from the other animals. Okay, so these are the different movements exhibited by the plants. Okay, And in the next class, we shall see various chemical substances which are called hormones produced in the human body, and what are their functions and how do they help in growth and various metabolic activities in the human body. Hope you have understood. If you have any doubts, please let me know. Thank you.